Hello, thank you very much, Mr. Barredo. Again, thank you all for attending. If you have any more questions, I think I have a lot here, Sir Juanis. So
Okay, go
just
ahead.
to reiterate what Mr. Barredo has mentioned, sorry, I'd just like to share that the call advantage, since all of your premium customers, also uses your three tools that you've mentioned, again, Sir Juanis. So it also uses the exponential moving average. It also uses the MACD as well as the RSI to give you that signal. So for those people who are actually asking about particular stocks, perhaps you can try it out in Call Advantage. You all have access.
Yeah,
Or if you don't have any, just chat your CEM and we'll be happy to attend to you. So, sir, here's another. Here's a question from our customer:
okay.
Is MACD applicable in the short term or the long term? Where is it
Yeah,
more applicable?
yes, it's more applicable into the short term. Um, However, if you want to use the MACD for a longer term condition, all you have to do is convert your chart to a weekly chart, and your MACD will automatically change. And so
Hmm.
that assessment is, I would say, if you're looking at a weekly chart, you're probably looking at a time frame greater than 6 months. But if you want to use
Hmm.
anything shorter than that, then just use a daily MACD. That should be verified to be able to use in a trading system in that period.
Okay. Ito, sir, asking about which moving average can she use for a 5 minute trading?
Okay, so remember, you can use the same amount, but if you're talking about 5 minutes, you can even use the same numbers I used, but you will have
Hmm.
to make much faster the moving average you have. Now, I don't want to use a general rule in a 5 minute chart because it really depends on the stock that you choose. Because in a 5 minute chart, a stock like Meralco could move very, I mean, hardly move at all. But if you're looking to very fast moving issues like Ditto or for example, if you're trading issues like uh, tech, these things can move much faster in that time space. So what's going to happen is you're going to have to make an assessment. Try it out. So for example, if you use a 5 minute chart, try to be able to see what a moving average in, I guess, in seconds is what you're going to be using to be able to make gauges like that. So try it
Hmm.
out and try to do it. Try to see if you can pick out one or two moving averages so at least you can use a crossover system to help you as well. But you're going to have to be able to do that on your own because it's hard to say that in general for every stock. They don't move as fast as each other on a intraday situation.
Okay, sir, here's a question you don't get every day. What can you say about the ALMA or the Arnold Lego moving average? That according to the question, already removes the price tag that's commonly associated with a simple moving average and an EMA.
Yeah, okay. So here's an example of a relatively newer type of indicator that people are trying to discover. I've read about it. I personally have not tried it out. And so maybe I will reserve what I would say because I don't want to tell you whether it works or it doesn't work because I honestly don't know just yet. I understand the concept of it because the idea is like using what is known as a point and figure chart where you're trying to eliminate a certain condition, like in that case, time. And and only price becomes an element of it. So maybe I should test it out because if I don't want to give an opinion and tell you I think it should be used and only to find out that it's not applicable. So if you want, I can review it for you and I should be able to easily manifest a response to you once I review it myself.
Ito, sir, here's a question asked by a few of our customers. Can you provide a summary of detecting indicators or the importance of it during different market conditions? So if it's going up, moving sideways, and going down.
Well,
Parang ace,
any
yeah.
momentum, yeah, any momentum signal like MACD, stochastics, DMI, you can use that in any trend moving event. So that means up or down. Okay. Now, if you're talking about using even a DMI, as long as it's a momentum indicator, you can use it there anywhere. But RSI, for example, in a sideways market or the MACD in a sideways market, very hard to use. I mean, you can still somewhat use an RSI, but it's not going to give you too good overbought, oversold readings. And so if the area pattern is wide enough, then maybe you can even use a stochastics because a stochastics moves much faster than MACD. So again, you really have to know which one is faster, which one is slower, and you tend to drown away the space and time depending on how fast that particular indicator can go. Moving averages take time to turn. So in a very, very short-term trading condition, you really may have to go to an intraday type of moving average to be able to use it. So if you're using an intraday graph, you obviously cannot use a daily moving average to assess that. So just based on it, I would say momentum indicator, up or down, you can use it. In a consolidating market, normally oscillators are the more favored indicators.
Okay, sir. The question is: This customers, is there any sense trying using stochastics and RSI together?
Yes, again, if you want to confirm the nature of an overbought or oversold stock, you can do it. But for example, if I would use them together, I would probably use the stochastics to give me a better assessment of overbought, oversold in the shorter term.
Hmm.
But I will use the RSI to just show if there will be divergence, because you will not see
Hmm.
divergence in stochastics, right?
Hmm.
So I will put them there, but not use them exactly the same way. I will use the
Okay.
RSI for the divergence, and I will use the stochastics to give me the MACD and a little overbought, oversold indicator.
Okay. Hmm. Second to last question, sir. What is the reason behind the default numbers for all the indicators? When do we change the
Well,
number? I think he
okay,
is pertaining to
let's
the MA here.
let's
Yeah.
look at it this way. Whoever fathered the use of those indicators, or the originator of those indicators, when he studied this use, he must have gone through a period of trial and error before he publishes that. And if you have published it, that means it must have shown some reasonable degree of success. And so these default indicators originated from that conceptualized author of the indicator. You can tweak it to your movement. I personally don't do it. Maybe once in a while I will do it. For example, if I'm using an MACD on a stock like, let's say, SM, I will keep it as is. But again, if I want to use an MAC than a faster moving stock, I may tweak it and I make it a little bit more faster. So it might even look something closer to a stochastics. So
Hmm.
that's the
Hmm.
only time I would even change the indicator. But generally, I would say 9 out of 10, I would not change the defaults of a range. The only ones I change all the time would be the overbought, oversold indicator of stochastics or the RSI. That's the only thing I change because I'd like to see it more sensitive. And that's why I use 70 and 30 rather than a basic 80-20.
Hmm. Okay. Does the technical indicators apply, sir, to mutual funds or indices? Can it also be used, sir?
I would say yes in general, but I would just caution that if you're talking about mutual funds in terms of index funds, I will say yes. I'll be
Hmm. Hmm.
more wary if you guys are using it for fixed income types of products, which are more gradual. And I wouldn't see what the value would be, especially if the trend movements are very, very graduated. But if you're talking about using it on an index fund, yes, you can, because anything that is equity based and does have good volatility, you can use those indicators quite well.
All right, sir. Last question. What's stopping you from writing a book? It's an actual question, sir.
Nothing. I'm still enjoying my personal appearances, and maybe
So,
one day I'll come around to be able to do that. But like I said, right now I feel I feel much greater energy with the interplay between talking to people live and meeting these new people, educating them, rather than I cast the book out there and I don't even see who I'm talking to, and I don't even know whatever they feel and do they understand what I've written. But yes, I promise that book one day will come out.
all right. So for that client who asked that, you have 3 or up to 4 sets of videos from Mr. Barredo, better than the book, diba? So, Mr. Barredo, thank you very much for your time this afternoon.
That's my pleasure for
All
everybody.
right.
Stay safe.
All right. So that concludes episode number 3 of Technical Analysis 101. And now a lot of people are asking about this. Here is the QR code for the next session, which will now try to consolidate everything you've learned from the first 3 episodes into episode 4, the trading plan. So if you have any mobile device with you, you can take a picture of this code or you can just type the bit.ly link to your browser to get
Yeah.
preferred registration for that seminar. Just like the other sessions, this session will be edited and posted on our social media channels later on. But as a premium customer, we do send them to you through an email. So after the 4 sessions, you can please check out the Facebook pages of Call Financial and Call Premium, as well as new content that we push out every week in Call Financial YouTube and Call Premium YouTube as well. I'd like to also take this opportunity to tell you about Call Premium Official. If you're not yet a member, and please do so because we usually publish invites to these things straight there before the email gets to you, or sometimes when we premiere the recorded versions of these seminars, we do a watch party or we offer this through that Facebook group. And if you have any more uh, comments, suggestions, or questions, do please contact us. If you're a premium client, get in touch with your CEM. If you don't know who your CEM is, try to log into your COL financial account and click the top right corner of the screen, the need help button,
Yep.
and there you can see the contact details. All right. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a nice day. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.